In this issue of Real Magic, Kozmo talks with Garrett Thomas about his life as a street magician, his time studying with Cellini, and his desire to have a positive impact on the magic community.
Cellini taught me two things, really two big things. The first thing he taught me was, when I spent that 5 years with him working on the streets and, being friends, is he taught me how to be free. The streets, once you get this thing down, right, and you start making real money, everything becomes easier, and you can travel wherever you want to go, you can perform wherever you want to go, like you can go to Europe, you can go, to California or New Orleans or Key West or Chicago, all those places I've gone to. So I was truly free, as close to free I think as you can be. And he also taught me one other big lesson, and that lesson is to not end up like him. I say that with love. He was poor, and he was sick, and he hated life, and he hated magicians. He never really felt that he got the respect from magicians that he deserved. I never really understood those feelings because he was loved by magicians. I mean, people who knew him just loved him. All the magicians, he's a legend.
That to me, now that you say that, it makes me realize why you actually stayed a major part of the magic community. So you have this show and you're doing this, but at the same time, you have this skill set now.
Yeah. So I'd come home from the road.
Okay.
I'd be in New Orleans and work for 2 weeks, and I'd come home and I'd have nothing to do. And now I'm with Cellini, and I'm producing the Artistry Performing Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, which are here at Real Magic. You can watch them. And we shot some lectures and stuff with them. So now I come home, and I'm producing this stuff, and it gave me something to do for the times I wasn't on the road. So then I started producing other people's stuff, like Jeff Williams and your stuff. And started to develop, I think, a pretty good reputation of being a good, honest guy who's going to do fairly good work in the industry and produce good products for people. And that's how that whole thing came.
So, that's what I mean is that you took his advice to heart and you had these plan Bs, this way to stay connected to the magic community.
Yep.
This way to give back. If anything did happen, you couldn't perform anymore. You at least had this other way of making a living that you wouldn't be starving yourself.
Yeah.
You heeded his warning.
Yeah, I didn't want to end up like that, and I may still end up like that. I am in the magic industry. It's not like I'm not getting rich here, guys. Please keep subscribing. I need your $5. But so around 2007 is when the Real Magic thing started, because I was producing all these products, but sometimes I'd come home and I didn't have any work. There would be nobody to produce. I didn't have any new projects scheduled. So I thought, well, what can I do where I have projects all the time? Well, I'll just work on the same project over and over and over and over. And that's where Real Magic came in. Tim Tronell was working for Murphy's, and he called me and said he had this idea about doing a video magazine that was on DVD. And in 2007, that's when we started Real Magic. We've been around for,
11 years? 12 years?
Almost 13, 12, almost 13 years, yeah. So we've been doing this a long time now.
Of course, everyone knows about Real Magic because that's how they're seeing this right now. So we don't have to talk about it too much, but is there anything about that choice and or even just helping out other magicians, like with their own products as well?
What I hope magicians gain a lot from Real Magic and all the products that we've produced. I know that the stuff we produce for you, like Stand Up Monty, and these are classics in magic now. And when I started producing products, and we did the Art of Street Performing, the very first thing we did, the Art of Street Performing is about your life as a performer. It's not about a magic trick. It's not a product that you buy, I'm going to do this trick. That's not what that does. It teaches you the important lessons because you only can do so many tricks. It teaches you, about building crowds and about crowd management, all of those kinds of things that are important. Those are always the kind of projects I was attracted to. You know, when we did together Live at the Jailhouse, that's also available on Real Magic, taught people how to get work in restaurants, taught people how to keep jobs in restaurants, taught them all the important things about working in a restaurant, being one of those professional walk-around guys. Those are the kinds of projects I always loved. So Real Magic was kind of like that, because you get all the tricks, all those kinds of things, all that stuff in Real Magic, which is, we all love to learn new stuff. But it also gives all the theory, like your column, or Tyler Erickson's column, or John Armstrong's small things that make a big difference. All of those things are the things that I'm really attracted to, and I hope magicians are attracted to, because those are the things that actually make you better. My job as a producer has always been to produce a product that's a real working thing, something you can actually do that makes you better.
Also in issue 52, Kainoa Harbottle returns and demonstrates how doing something you don't like can actually be beneficial.
Now, there's something in coin magic that I don't like doing, and those are what we usually call wipes. If you ever see magicians do these wipes, sometimes they look a little awkward, right? There's all these sort of like changing overs of things and blah, blah, blah. And it can look a little awkward with these wipes, or also known as equipments. But I found an equipment that I like, and I'd like to share it with you now. It's not one that it doesn't look like a really big, gigantic, wavy move, working out a classic palm, the finger palm, and the old-fashioned thumb palm, all these other kinds of techniques. It's very simple, and it's a great way to actually start. That's what I use it for. It's what I call the push-through equipment, or the push-through wipe.
David Regal compares effects side by side. Tyler Erickson shares more advice on tension and relaxation. And Garrett Thomas returns to discuss the importance of being your own Mr. Miyagi.
One of the scenes in Karate Kid was this, well, it wasn't just one scene, it was a lot of scenes where he's waxing the car and he's painting the fence, and he didn't know he was practicing. He didn't know that he was training. And in that, he built up his muscle memory. Be consciously aware of all of your actions. And this is not just going to help you in magic, it's going to help you in life. That don't grab the deck of cards unless you can fully see the path to it. Even when you're walking around the house, what I don't like to do is just start moving and flailing. And, these are people that you would consider clumsy, and they just didn't think their movement through. So I don't reach for anything until I know exactly where it is and what I'm going for, and then I can just grab it with intent and be able to bring it out. And these type of options will help you routine where the objects go. Because if this pen has to always be in that position, well, then every time you put it away, it goes there. And if you do it all day, if you do it everywhere you go, if it's always in that position, even when you're not performing, then it becomes burnt into your body. It'll be your muscle memory, and it's going to be something that you can just automatically do.
As always, we've got 3 tricks to teach you. In this issue, there's one from John Luca and 2 rubber band effects from Vincent Mendoza.
Now keep in mind, we're going to transfer from the front of the rubber band here, through the first strand there, and then all the way off. Just like that, in one smooth move.